Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans, and we have a little bit of an interesting video coming out, as we don't usually have trade videos, but then again, this is not a league that has a ton of trades usually happening, as there's been a trade between the Calgary Stampeders and the Ottawa Redblacks. The Ottawa Redblacks trade Lorenzo Mauldin IV, to defensive lineman, to the Calgary Stampeders in exchange for a 4th-round draft pick. And is that in this year's draft? Like in this coming year's draft?
That is...
Because I would like you to check that, because I actually
Yes, I just had it up on my screen. Just give me a second. That is in the upcoming draft,
yep,
yes.
That'll be in 2026. I see that here on the CFL article that was written by their team from Kevin Sousa. Now... This is a trade that, firstly, I like the idea of teams that are gearing up for playoffs, making trades. And if you take a look at where Calgary is, as if we take a look here, Calgary, they're second in the West, with a 8-6 record, which keeps them ahead of Winnipeg and Saskatchewan, or not Winnipeg and Saskatchewan, Winnipeg and BC, just because they have one less loss. But it's one of those things where if Calgary loses, they could potentially, there's potential that they could fall from second in the West. That used to be a safe spot for them, but Winnipeg and BC have played very, very well as of recent. Calgary has had its struggles. And so if we take a look here, Montreal puts up 38 points against them in this prior game. We covered this in depth in a review. We're not going to get into it like crazy. However, Montreal, they put up a bit of rushing here. They put up around not quite here. Let's take a look here. 75, 88. They put up 96 rushing yards total against the Stamps. So not a ridiculous amount, but also not nothing. But if we take a look here, not a single sack from the Stampeders side of things. And it was one of those things where they just needed a bit of everything. They needed more pressure on Davis Alexander to really hinder the passing game, put more pressure on him. He just didn't have enough pressure on him. And they also, having someone dangerous in the backfield would be very, very good. And this is where if we take a look at a guy like Lorenzo Mauldin IV, and we look at kind of his career starting with his career in the CFL. He's been in the CFL since 2019, in which case he gets 3 sacks that year with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He gets 1 the following year in only 6 games, keep in mind. Then in 2022, this guy got 17 sacks in 18 games with 2 forced fumbles. He was a damn good player that year. And then he gets 5 against Ottawa for Ottawa the next year, 8 in 2024, 2 for Ottawa in 2025. And now he gets traded to the Calgary Stampeders. And I like this move for Calgary. I think adding that kind of depth is very, very good. Actually, one thing I do want to take a look at, Rick, can you find me the depth chart that the Ottawa Redblacks used in their most recent game?
Yes, that should be
week 16, I believe, because they had a bye week. So that would have been their game against Winnipeg. If you can find me that depth chart. As if we're looking at the football database here, and we're looking at his career statistics going all the way back to 2011, when he was playing college football. He played for Louisville, in which case he was credited over his time from 2011 to 2014. He had no sacks in his first year for the 11 games he played. The next year he had 4. He was credited with 4.5. Then he was credited with, and again, I think they give half credits on sacks where if it's a joint sack, I believe that's how it works in college. He's credited for 9.5 in 2013, and then 6.5 in 2014. So decent production there. He then goes and spends 3 years with the New York Jets from 2015 through 2018. Says he's there 2015 and 16. 2017 he doesn't play. My assumption would probably be due to some sort of injury. I could guess.
Where am I
don't
sending
know.
this?
Just send it on Discord.
Okay.
He gets 4 sacks in 2015. He gets 2.5 in 2016. And he played a good amount of games in 2015, 16. 2018 doesn't play a single game. And then 2019, of course, is when he makes his CFL debut. And his numbers look relatively good in the CFL. Now, one thing I do want to take a look at is, did you send it or? Oh, it's sending right now. Here we go. Is that now with Lorenzo Mauldin getting traded, as much as we obviously are looking into what is Calgary getting from this, we also need to see what is Ottawa left with here, as it looks like. So here's my question then, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at this depth chart that you sent me, okay?
Yep.
Who do you think bumps in? Do you think it's John, or do you think they bring Onyeka in and Onyeka plays with Carter? Because this is where I'm gonna try to see if I can find the stats of those two.
It all depends on if they want. It all comes down to ratio.
Because Lorenzo Mauldin, he's from Louisville. He's born in Sacramento, California. So I don't think it should matter much in the ratio because you're losing an American. I think they should be fine there.
No. But what I'm saying is, because if you look at their offensive line, they're already starting 4 there. You have a wide receiver. You have a will linebacker. So if they plan on starting 3 Americans, then you would think that it would be McGowan instead of John.
Yeah. Well, it could be Aiden John because he was born in Halifax.
But
he was born in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Went to school at St. Mary's. He's just 25 years old.
I'm gonna bring up a point that Shane Ray, someone that we've had on the channel before, had mentioned earlier. Is based on the information available, they only have 8 defensive players signed to contracts after 2026, and 5 of them are defensive linemen.
Yeah, well, because Aiden John's a bit younger. He's only 25 years old. He's actually. Do you want a fun fact here, Rick?
What's the fun fact?
Aiden John is just under 2 months younger than my brother Zach. If you want a fun fact, that's a fun fact. But yeah, he was born in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Because yeah, if I'm looking here at Kenyon Yeka, he was born in Nigeria, so that would not affect the ratio for international talent. Went to school in Carleton, though. So I don't know if he technically would count as a naturalized Canadian then. Like, I don't know if he has Canadian citizenship.
So, if you're talking about Onyeka, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm sure he was...
Okay, I think he has Canadian citizenship because... in a lot of stuff I'm seeing here, he's identified as a Nigerian Canadian.
Yeah, so he would have been drafted in the U Sports draft. So here's the thing that I was looking at is dating back to, I think it was 2023. I just want to double check this. No, dating back to 2022. So 2022 is the year that we took Keandre Smith in the 4th round. Since then, you don't have many people that are making big names yet for themselves. So you don't know what you're getting. I would say, based on what we've seen over the last 3-4 years, in hockey terms, this is mostly a conditional pick, only because you can either swing for the fences and get a good pick in the fourth round,
Mm-hmm.
or you can take a chance on someone and they just end up being garbage.
Yeah. So all in all, before we wrap this up, because I think we've covered this pretty good.
Yes.
What do you think about this trade? I'm going to ask what do you think about this trade for Calgary? Do you think this move makes sense? Do you think it
So
helps?
it does, because Flo Odermatt, who came over in the Cam Judge trade from Toronto, is injured for the rest of the season. And he
Yeah.
was that, if you're looking at the defensive line like this, he was that left defensive lineman.
Like, are you talking defensive end? Left side defensive end? Yeah.
Or left or right defensive end. So now you can put Hicks on the other side, and you can put Mauldin on the left side, and it just makes that much better.
Yeah.
So this fourth round pick, it's a rental trade because Mauldin's contract expires at the end of the year. If, say, worst case scenario, Mauldin doesn't work out, then you only lost a draft pick. It's not like you lost much.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, if Mauldin works out for Calgary in the playoffs, that could have done well for your defense, where I'm not saying that Calgary is going to win the Grey Cup, but could better your defense.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
But also, I believe it's 4 o'clock on Wednesday, because Mountain Time is an hour behind. I think that's like 1 or 2 hours difference. So the trade
Like from you or from me?
From me.
It would be 2 hours because I'm in Central. You're in Eastern.
Okay, so that's 3 o'clock Wednesday, 5 o'clock Central, or 5 o'clock Eastern, is the CFL trade deadline on Wednesday. But if you look at the standings, like I was telling you earlier, other than maybe Toronto trading Larham, if that worst case scenario, Ottawa's the only selling team this year. Because it's so close between the third in the East to the first in the West. Every team is separated by 2 points, or they're tied. Like, just think, Carter.
Yeah.
If you had one division, there'd be 4 teams tied right now.
Yeah.
That would be ugly.
That would certainly be something. I think that's pretty much that's all I got though. Is there anything else you got there, Rick?
No, sir.
All right. Well, let us know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this trade that happened in the CFL. Which again, it's not a common occurrence, but it's a fun time whenever it does here on the channel. We get to cover it. So we hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel as it helps out a ton. And peace, love, and positivity to all you wonderful people at home. We will see you guys next time.